guys, this is Dr. Hill from Rayford Animal Wellness Clinic, or ROC, where pets aren't just cool, they rock. Hey, so thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited to talk about puppies, one of my favorite things in the world. Kittens too, but we're going to focus on puppies for this one. Though actually, you know what? This would work for kittens as well. We're not going to go into vaccines. This is just an idea of what to do if you all of a sudden decide I want to take this puppy home with me. So find it on the streets, shelter, stop somewhere, whatever, even from a breeder. Like it's a good idea to have a plan for kind of checking that kid out before you take it home, just to, make sure you don't see anything obvious, right? To prepare you. So, now, of course, if you're getting them from someone, asking the appropriate questions, finding out about vaccines and deworming and all of those things are fantastic. But I know that isn't always in the cards and hasn't been done. And your heart just tells you, I have to have this little dog. Or cat or kitten. Actually, like I said, I think this will work for both. So we'll go over it, see if there's anything specific for one or the other. But so you've stopped. Your heart is like, I can't, I want the face, I just pet it, I can't stand it, right? So some things to consider, to look at, just to prepare you, right? And to try to make sure this kid's healthy before you even take it home. Keep in mind, even if a veterinarian does the exam, there are things that you will not catch, when you first look at them. So you do want to keep it, like, if they start to get sick, there's still something going on. They can get a disease that doesn't show for a good 2 weeks. And so that's always hard. Are they incubating something, right? And it's always a good idea when you do get a new animal to keep them separated from your pets for a good 2 weeks to make sure they don't have anything contagious. And it could be something as simple as ringworm, but if you've had ringworm go through all your pets, which I have, you start to think maybe I should have kept this one separated, right? So more serious things could be like parvo, panleukopenian cats. These can be deadly diseases, and you do want to try to make sure your pets are protected. Vaccines are huge. Heartworm prevention, huge. Of course, if they're on those things, that's going to help decrease that risk, right? But we probably want to know, okay? So just think of it as an exam. You're going to do an exam and you're going to start from the nose to the tail, right? You're going to check out everything, keeping some things in mind. So you're going to look at the eyes and you're going to make sure that the pupils look normal and that they constrict or dilate, with the light as they're supposed to, and that there's no drainage, that the whites of the eyes look nice and white. They shouldn't be red or inflamed, and there shouldn't be any drainage, right? So check that out, make sure that looks good. Look at the nose, make sure there's no discharge in the nose. When you're looking at the nose and the mouth, include the chest a little bit. Watch breathing. Make sure that they seem to be comfortable as they're breathing. They're not taking big breaths. You know what I mean? Now, puppies will play and they'll breathe faster, right? So maybe if you can, play with them a little bit, get them to slow down and relax a little bit and watch their comfort level. Watch them breathe. Make sure they look comfortable with their breathing. Also, look at their gum color. So there should be pink. Gum should be pink. Now, sometimes you have pigment. That can make it kind of hard, that dark pigment. But gum should be pink and you can even compare puppies. Now, if they all have really pale gums, then I'm worried they've got worms or something like that. But sometimes you'll have one puppy with paler gums than the other. And that could mean that they're anemic, that they've got maybe parasites, intestinal parasites, worms, fleas, things like that will take red blood cells and make them very anemic. And that can be serious. That can be like blood transfusion serious. They definitely need to be dewormed in the fleas, but if you've got really pale gums, and especially if the dog's breathing harder, because a lot of times they will if they're anemic. So check the gums. Also, look for the roof of the mouth. Look at that and make sure there's no cleft palate. That could be very serious and hard to tell unless you really look in there and make sure that the top of the mouth looks nice and normal. Look at all the teeth, just make sure that the mouth looks like it should, like it goes together and everything. It may be a cute underbite, I know, but make sure that everything looks pretty normal. Also take a look in the ears. You're looking just for wax, redness, irritation, pain, anything like that. Ear mites could be there, infection could be there. Puppies can get little yeast infection in their ears, which not a big deal, but prepare, look for it, make sure that looks really good. Go down the, it's something you can do you may not think about. Feel under the jawline for any swellings. That there are some lymph nodes that live right there, and if they have an upper respiratory or they're it's a serious infection, that can, you can feel little swellings under there. So just kind of feel all the way. Again, you're going to feel the entire puppy. You're going to move the hair, part the hair, so you can look for fleas, look for skin irritation, thickening, hair loss, skin thickening. These could be mites. Who wants to bring sarcoptic mange home to yourself or your animals, right? Like, watch for these kind of things. Now, if you see anything weird, it doesn't mean for sure don't take the puppy, but get them checked out immediately. Keep them separated from your dog, and really have them checked out quick. The gums, that's life threatening. Get to a clinic right then. Really watch for these things. Then go, feel all the way through. You can even, I don't know, this may be a little much, but you can actually cup the chest. So put your hands on both sides of the chest, just, over the rib cage, and you can even feel the heartbeat a lot of times. Now, you may not really know what you're feeling, but it should be a love dub like you would expect. Maybe quicker, right? Because we're puppies, but, and kittens. And so kittens have a really fast heart rate, but you can kind of feel that it feels normal. If you feel a zhuzh or a longer, not a quick beat, right? Then there could be something going on with the heart. Now, obviously, that could be really serious too. Um, with puppies and kittens, also feel the belly. Puppies and kittens eat so much that they will get these big fat bellies, and that's normal. If they're too fat, you worry they have intestinal parasites, but let's deworm them, okay? Let's just say let's deworm. So if they have a fat belly, it a lot of times tends to, they eat a ton, they get this fat belly, round belly, it's so cute. And then later, after they've had a little time, it goes down to nothing. They eat again and they get this big fat belly. And some have bigger bellies than others. But if they're active and eating great and they've got this kind of, puppy belly, I don't worry too much about it. But again, let's check for parasites, deworm, that kind of thing. Even if the people you're getting them from have dewormed them or vaccinated them, they're going to need to be dewormed again if they're a puppy. And we can help you kind of make a schedule for that. What we tend to do is deworm them every 2 to 3 weeks, as we're doing vaccines. And vaccines should be given from about 6 to 8 weeks of age until we're 16 weeks of age. And again, every 2 to 3 weeks during that time. And I only mention that so you can kind of talk to whoever you're getting them from and see if they have been giving vaccines in that way, and to prepare you for what needs to be, what you need to do once you get them home and get prepared for. And getting them set up, the sooner the better. Our clinic especially, we get so busy, it's hard to sometimes get an appointment. So as soon as you know you need that, give us a call. Let's get you in and see this kid. Also, feel the belly really good. Feel the hind legs, move them in a normal kind of running motion. Just make sure there's no pain, discomfort. Watch the puppy walk around, make sure that it walks normally. Now, puppies are super funny. They're all just, and kittens, there can be so just, now kittens usually have really good, like they have good control pretty early on, but puppies can be real just loosey-goosey, and that's fine. And they usually, after time, they get to a more normal kind of gait. But, watch them, just make sure there's not something obvious. Look at the booty. I know that's fun, right? But look at the booty. Make sure that if it's a boy, they've got 2 testicles, okay? As I do this, like, inappropriate touching motion every day, okay, guys? And make sure that they have that as well. Really small puppies and kittens, it's really hard to tell. Oh, one of my favorite things with kittens is not being able to tell if it's a boy or girl. And that can be really hard. I'm not even going to try to explain that. It's based on kind of the holes, right? And so the anus versus the vulva, or the penis, and kind of the distance. And sometimes it's even better to take multiple kittens and compare them to each other. So if you've got a male, you can be like, okay, this looks like a female. It is sometimes so hard, and so yeah, don't pick a name if you can't tell. That could go either way, is what I would say. But yes, so exciting. Check the kitten's legs as well. Watch the belly, feel the belly. If there's a big, like, swelling in the middle, that could be a little hernia. Again, not too big of a deal, but something we may want to think about, at least talking about. Sometimes those are so small we don't even worry about it, but sometimes we fix them when they're getting spayed or neutered. And so, yeah, watch that a little bit. I'm trying to think. I think that's a pretty good list and gives you a little bit of homework. When you get the puppy home, if they're less than, now kittens usually are better at this, but if they don't eat when they get home. You really want to make sure they're eating. And if the puppy's less than 2 pounds, the kitten, 2 pounds maybe not quite as important, but still, if they're not eating, you may even want to get a little Karo syrup, or Nutrical is a supplement you can get from the store, and kind of put that in their mouth, try to get them eating. And you really, if they're not eating, we need to see them at the clinic, because it is super important that our puppies and kittens eat when you get them home. You could even give a little like Pedialyte mixed with some water or something like that, just to make sure we're getting good hydration. That's super important and can help if they do all of a sudden start to act sick. And if they do start to act sick, vomiting, diarrhea, anything like that, get them to the clinic immediately. Watch for worms in the stool. We're gonna deworm, like I said, but just watch for those things. Let us know if you see anything out of the norm. Get them in quickly. But usually they're gonna be great. It's just good to have these things in the back of your mind. Let me see this puppy and see what's going on, or this kitten, and just make sure that everything looks great. And hopefully that gives you a better chance of getting a healthy kiddo. Oh, look at toes. Make sure we got all our little toes. That if they don't, but they're healthy, I'm not too worried about it. It's just genetic, but fun to know. And just make sure everything looks great. All right. Well, thank you. I hope that helps. And if you get one, give us a call so I can see it. Thank you guys so much. Have a great one. We'll talk to you later. Bye.